What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite host and jealousator Apoc, and welcome back to the channel. So again, today we got Paige here. She doesn't want
see my arm.
You can see her arm. So we're going to finish off KKandbabyJ's BAYTS podcast episode 2, right? It was 2.
I think it's number 2.
Yeah, and it was like being parents on YouTube or whatever. And basically, if you haven't watched that, I'll link it down below for the first part. But to sum that one up, it was just about how like Karen wanted to be like a more than just a regular mom, and then shame people who decide to stay home and claim that they just want to get by. I don't know. It was some crazy stuff. It was crazy. Yeah. They basically didn't leave any money for their children. I'm not saying they don't have any. I'm saying at the time they were like $200,000 in debt. They weren't even able to buy all their stuff. They just like leased it out and had other people co-sign this and that, and they pushed out the idea, the narrative that they were living this great life, but they were actually unhappy. But with all that being said, let's just get to it, right, Paige?
Starting Kick-Ass has been, I'm so excited about it because I can't wait, because it's just like mind-blowing how people think like, oh, I don't have time to take care of myself because I have the kids and or I have this and I don't have time, and like my mom was that way.
So Kick-Ass is now gone and dissolved. So this is where she starts talking. This is only like a 2-year thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's been almost a year now since Kick-Ass has been gone. She's talking about how Kick-Ass is going to be this like amazing thing and how she wants to be more than just a mom, and this is her investing into that so she has things for her children for when they get older.
Yeah.
Yet now Kick-Ass is gone, it's dissolved, and it's all because of her and her failure. Karen's Kick-Ass stuff ended up at a Goodwill. Not shading towards Goodwill or anyone's shops at Goodwill. It's just the fact that these vloggers have so much and they have their foot in the door and have such an advantage and a leg up over everyone else in life. They really, truly do.
Yeah, they do.
And that's because they have like instant success if they have something.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they don't actually know how to work outside of like exploiting their kids or YouTube clickbait. So when it comes to an actual thing that they have to put work into, they fail at every turn. I don't know how many times we have seen Koala talk about a business venture and it just disappears. Kick-Ass was the same way. It only lasted so long because Karen didn't put any work into it. She was only working 1 day a week just to go to a 20-minute meeting. Guarantee you the rest of the time she was just screwing around.
BAYTS is the same thing. They acted as if they wanted it to be this big thing. And look at it now.
Yeah, it's done.
They haven't uploaded since last year.
BAYTS has been a complete and utter failure on their end. They wanted it to be this big old thing, and then they just let it tank, just like everything else outside of family vlogging. And even family vlogging for them is tanking, although people are just sick of it.
You know, the thing that I think up is that like we say it's a failure because I feel like we say it and we don't clarify. It's a failure because they choose to let it fail, or chose to let it fail.
It's also not like a ha you failed, loser.
No, failure is a part of life, but it's like a lot of the time failure is something that, like, if your business has to close, a lot of the time it's out of your control. With Karen and Kwa, it was completely in their control. Making that business successful was completely in their control. They chose to not work hard at it. Karen chose to take naps more during the day than, and I'm not talking about her being a mom. She has multiple people who watch her children. I'm not saying she's not doing anything because she's a stay-at-home mom. I'm saying she's not doing anything because she's not doing anything. She has other people watching her children for her. She can sit and watch 3 Harry Potter movies in one day. I can't do one.
And when she did that, and we're just kind of referencing some things that we saw, she was talking about how she doesn't have time in her day to do things because she's so busy with work and whatever. But then she watches 3 Harry Potter movies in a row. It's like, you're not that busy if you got like 7 hours to watch movies.
That takes a long time.
The point is that these people claim to work hard and push out that idea to people while never working a day in their life, like hard. You know what I mean? Majority of their money came from exploiting their children, and it was the easiest content they could push out.
That's what I was saying with the failure stuff. It's okay to fail, and we're not shitting on them for failing. I'm shitting on them for making themselves fail.
It's like everything else in
it was all in their control. They chose to let it go down. They chose to not work hard at it. Qua didn't even like it. Qua didn't even want anything to do with it.
No, he didn't want anything to do with Kick-Ass, even though he owned 2% or whatever it was. But their ex-trainer for Kick-Ass, not that she wasn't good. Like, Carly, if you're watching this, no shade towards you because you look great, you train great. People didn't want to see Carly or Daniel. And Carly was the main one doing all the workouts. People didn't want to see Carly, even though she fit the bill, even though she's fit. But they put out the same repetitive garbage bullshit, same like, hit workout intensity 5 minutes. People don't want 5 minutes. Do some Grow with Joe type shit, bro. Put out 30 minutes to an hour of high intense cardio. That's why she's at over 2 million now, right?
Company.
Isn't she over 2 million? Grow with Joe.
Yeah,
she's over 2 million. She excelled, and within a year's time, gained like over 1 million people, I think. Yeah, it's insane. And she puts in work and she deserves it.
Yeah.
Karen didn't deserve her kick-ass to grow because she didn't put in any work. Carly did all the workouts. Karen was never in the workouts. And that's who people wanted to see.
And when she was, what did she do? She was doing everything wrong.
Right.
Not everything, but most of the stuff she was doing was wrong. She was also wearing just flannels and shit while she was working out.
I know, right? She was trying to be stylish while working out.
You need to be fucking...
Wear your leggings and your tops and let's go. Why are you wearing a flannel while you're working out? It's like bringing jeans to the gym. Like, why?
She didn't take care of herself. She put all of us before anyone.
She was talking about how, like, her mom didn't take care of herself or whatever because she had, like, what, 4 daughters to take care of by herself
while working 2 jobs. She didn't have time to take care of herself.
She didn't have nannies and nannies to watch her children for her whenever she wanted to go get her nails done.
Right? Karen and Kwa's household is a 2-parent stay-at-home household. Karen's mother was a single mother who worked 2 jobs and had daughters to take care of. She didn't have time to take care of herself.
That's what I'm saying. When Karen says this, I'm just like, you have no idea what it's like to be a normal stay-at-home mother. Well, whether it be a single mother or a mom where the significant other is outside making money, she's staying home with the kids. Like, you have no idea what it's like.
We don't even know what it's like.
No,
because we both work from home. We're here together all the time.
Constantly cleaning, constantly worrying about the kid or kids. Like, especially with multiple children, they definitely aren't going to have time to do shit.
Yeah,
they want a break when their husband or significant other comes home and they want to relax, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. Sometimes they don't get that. Kwa can stay at home while Karen goes in and gets her fucking laser hair removal. That's great, but normal mothers can't do that.
For one, it's hard for them to afford it. Karen will just do it all willy-nilly.
But Karen says, I couldn't take care of myself. Let's not pretend that Karen couldn't take care of herself before she started Kick-Ass, before she started her workout journey. She chose not to do it. It wasn't that she didn't have time. She chose not to do it. It was not about her being a mother. She had a nanny. She had a nanny. She had Kwa staying at home. They didn't have anything else besides YouTube going on. She had plenty of time.
So they have like 5 different nannies. They have, people to watch their kids for them. They have people who clean their house for them. Karen takes naps all day. They don't really work, but in general, Karen has more time and so much more privilege than regular mothers. Karen's not a regular mother. She's a vlog mother.
The difference between her and like Jess Fam takes care of her kids majority of the time.
Yeah.
I will give her that.
Well, she wants to make sure she gets every moment.
Well, yeah, but I think that, sometimes she has Lilia going off to her dad's house or something like that. But majority of the time, she has most of the kids with her.
You have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself.
Again, you have to, but it's all about like, can you? There are things you can do even if you don't have the time to like go out and work out, go to the gym. There are things you can do, some like preventative measures that you can take to protect yourself, like especially like based around eating. But again, it's all about time.
Also, let's not talk about not taking care of yourself, not going into the doctors when you have like problems with miscarriages and shit.
This is when she was going through it.
Yeah, you apparently need to get your scar tissue cut out, and you just never do that. Don't go to the OBGYN.
She talks about taking care of yourself, but gets told constantly by our community to go to the damn doctors for miscarriage and infertility, but never went in, not once for an exam, not once.
Nope.
So get the hell out of here with that taking care of yourself, Karen. You definitely did not do that shit. Nope.
That will in turn take care of your kids. And you need that time to yourself. Like 30 minutes in the gym, I have 10 times the more patience with my kids than I had before. Just like 30 minutes to myself, just to not think.
That's the thing though, is that she's able to go out and do that while other mothers can't. You know what I mean? For one, it costs money. Man, the gyms around here are expensive.
Yeah.
They're not cheap. Not everywhere has a $10 Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
She says all this stuff about working out, but she never went to work out. And then she complained about not being able to go to the gym because of COVID, but had her own warehouse full of gym equipment
and a garage.
And then
complained about both.
And and complained about both, that it was too hot. Ridiculous, man.
Like whenever you didn't feel good, you literally didn't even want to hold my hand or kiss me.
What?
I don't know. I think she's talking about when she was like super unhealthy and eating Chick-fil-A every day. Like, you're talking about you didn't want to show him any affection?
When she didn't take care of herself, she didn't even want to hold Kwa's hand?
I mean, it would make sense to me if you weren't taking care of yourself and you didn't feel confident that you didn't want to Kwa. Come on, holding his hand. Come on. No, you're just being you just don't want to hold his hand.
Yeah, I think that's what comes down. She didn't want to do it.
Maybe you were being a dick, Kwa. I don't know.
I mean, what? That makes no sense. I mean, maybe her hands were just like swollen from all like the high blood pressure, from all the sodium she was having from Chick-fil-A.
I don't know.
She just couldn't hold his hand.
I think he's meaning like she wasn't confident enough to like show affection to him, but it would
you
make
don't
more
even
sense
have to really show affection when you're holding hands. You're just holding his hand.
I think he means like other things. He's probably lying.
Yeah, probably.
I just woke up feeling just like tired. It was one because like I just wasn't taking care of myself.
Woke up feeling tired so she can't hold a hand.
We're not saying you should want to always want more. I mean,
this is where it's gonna get good, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy, more like bad.
Oh.
There's some people who who don't mind, you know, like
I tell Qua all the time.
working the 9 to 5, taking care of the kids, and just like living a good life. Like
there are some people who have no choice in where they work. Not everybody wants to work a 9 to 5. People love to work in general, but he's about to go on this whole thing about like, if you like living paycheck to paycheck, that's fine, man. We just don't want to do that. Nobody wants to live paycheck to paycheck. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Nobody just wants to get by.
No.
Everyone wants to be at least comfortable or make enough money.
This comes from somebody who was poor. It was his parents' choice just to get their children by.
He implied that he was poor when he was younger, so his parents taught him to just get by, even though they had a big house and they had restaurants and they had money.
Because he's bullshitting about being poor.
Yeah, he's bullshitting about being poor, man. What is he talking about?
What a liar.
just like getting by. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we don't want to live like that.
Nobody wants to get by.
Don't I tell you?
Want to live like that. That's below us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're having this whole like elitist thing going on. Like they're better than you.
If they said like we have the opportunity not to do that, that would be better. But they're not saying that. They're saying we don't want to just get by.
Yeah, we don't want to just get by like you peasants.
Yeah.
Like so often, I wish I could just stay home with the kids and just.
Yeah, you wish.
I wish I could.
Yeah, but
I don't. Yeah. I don't feel fulfilled.
But if you don't feel that way, then why would you wish you can just stay home with the kids? You know what's funny? She's acting like she goes out and does the 9 to 5, even though they say they don't want to do that. Like she goes out and she works. Her work was kick-ass, but she only went 1 day a week, while Daniel and the other ex-business partner,
they barely uploaded on YouTube. They barely released products.
Karen would just pick up colors.
And all based off of Karen not wanting to work.
And now look at Kick-Ass, it's dead in the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're not shitting on that lifestyle. And so the people who do live that lifestyle, I don't understand why they shit on us.
Yeah.
They're not.
So he's saying...
They're just saying you don't work hard like you say you do.
So he's saying that living paycheck to paycheck is a lifestyle choice. Even though that's not how that works, my guy, because not everybody gets paid an insane amount. You can get 15, 17, 18 million views or how much you ever have on your birth vlog, but people aren't going to receive that same amount of money if they go work. You can vlog, you just spend that your day. You just made more money than somebody made in a month. Yeah. Just off of that one video.
They were making $2,000 a day.
$2,000 a day.
That's more than most people make a month.
Like they were making that daily. So they were making between probably $40,000 to $60,000 a month. That's insane. That's a lot of money. That's not including like sponsorships and brand deals. So it's probably upwards of like $1 million.
They're like, you should just get by. You shouldn't waste all your time.
Nobody's saying that.
Like, I don't want to like diss that lifestyle, but I don't understand.
It's not a lifestyle.
Why they have to diss our lifestyle? Us wanting more, like a nicer car than an average car, or us wanting a bigger house than an average house.
An average car and an average house.
What is average to them?
What's average? An average car and an average house. You know what's so funny is that their old house would be considered average to him. Yeah. Because they wanted the lake house. That was just a buffer house in between until they moved out. But that house was a nice house. That was a nice family house.
I'm saying average cars. Some people want the average car, the average house.
Yeah.
The average car that they bust their ass to get. The average house that they bust their ass to get. Your wife sits on her ass all day and you do all these easy ass sponsorships and you guys have this $2.3 million house that you barely got. You almost lost that house because you were so bad with your money. And you're shitting on the people who have the average house, who are successfully getting the average house because they were good with their money and they were smart with their money.
And they actually
didn't need investors. They didn't need investors. They work average jobs, and I'm going by Qua's logic here. They work average jobs and they're just getting by choice. That's their lifestyle that they choose. And they're still more successful than you guys. With the Tahoe, like when Karen, I think she crashed into something, or she crashed something into the Tahoe or something like that.
Oh, I know
remember?
what you're talking about. Yeah.
And he's like, we need to appreciate the stuff that we have. And then she's like, yeah, it's just our beater car.
Yeah.
To a Tahoe, like a $60,000 to $80,000 Tahoe. He says that about that car.
Yeah.
That's average to him.
That's an average car.
He looks down at all the people who have this shit. And yes, he is looking down because he says that shit's just average.
It's just average.
That is something people dream of. And he's saying that's just average. That's somebody's goal. But he says that's an average goal.
Yeah, it's an average goal, man. We don't want to live like that. We don't want that lifestyle.
We want the $2.3 million lake house that we couldn't even afford. And the cars that we couldn't even afford. And the boat that we couldn't even afford.
Maybe you should have stuck to the average house and average cars. Then
you would have been more successful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with wanting an average house or, a normal house. Like, but maybe we want more. Maybe
but also, all our goals aren't materialistic.
You just said the people who have average houses and average cars, that's fine, but we want more, as in a superior house and a superior car, as in a more expensive car and a more expensive house. What does that mean, you idiot?
To completely change my entire lifestyle this year, and I did that. I had the goal to start my own business. I'm doing that.
Now
Not
it's
well.
gone. Not well. It's gone. It completely flopped, and it's gone, and ended up at Goodwill for like.
She never talks about it again. It was her baby, and it's gone. She gets rid of that shit so fast.
There you go.
Doesn't surprise you because that is her baby.
Our whole, plan for everything has never been materialistic.
The lake house, materialism. The cars, materialism.
Boats,
the purses, materialism. The clothes, like boats, materialism. All that shit.
They were dreaming about all that since high school. Qua said he was jealous that other people had those things, and he now has all those things, right? He was jealous because he wanted these material possessions. Now he has these material possessions. He can have his goals, but you can't say your goals aren't materialistic.
I wish they would just own up to things instead of just bullshitting around, because it's bullshit. We know that you guys are materialistic. I'd rather people be honest about them being materialistic than to lie about not being materialistic.
Exactly.
What I mean by that is the reason why we are where we are today is because what is our main goal in life, Karen? Like, what is you and me, what's our main goal in life?
Stability.
For
the children.
Before they had the kids in the YouTube channel, their goals were all material possessions. The cars, the boats, the jet skis, the house, all that. That was there before the kids.
And yes, you have children, so yes, I would hope you would provide stability for them, but that just didn't age well for them.
And then after they got all the money that they needed, they ended up spending it all on material possessions. All the stuff that they wanted since high school. And they actually put that over stability. They risked it all for things that weren't even really their dreams.
So we want to take care of the children, right? So our main goal was to take care of the children.
I want to take care of our children. I want to take care of our children's children. And I want to take care of their children.
Okay, but how do we
do that?
You work
hard.
That's not happening.
Their kids are going to end up with money, but what are their kids going to do with that money?
They're going to be just like their mom and dad.
That's what I'm saying, material possessions. Well, there's this whole thing about like all these business ventures, but they all flop and they never talk about them again. The only thing that's left for them is sponsorships and brand deals and the YouTube channel. And everything's going to go downhill. And sponsorships and brand deals will not always be the same. Things are going to change. And when they do change, Karen and Qua are going to start hurting.
Us working our butt off, working towards taking care of our children, is doing everything we can. And the money is the byproduct.
The only way you can provide stability for your children is by making money.
You don't have to have a lot of it, but you have to have money to provide that house for them, to provide like food for them, all that. That's how you get that stuff.
Money is the goal, and safety and stability is the byproduct of that money. That's what that is. They do this whole song and dance about not being gritty or materialistic, but they make it seem like they don't want money. All their goals are based around money, but they try to avoid it as much as possible because they don't want to come off as greedy, because they think having money is greedy.
Whatever we do, we want it to be productive and go towards helping our children and making sure they have a home, they're healthy, they're safe, and then the money comes after.
No, the money comes first. You have to do all those things first.
The reason that you almost lost the house that you're in right now, not that they weren't in it at this point, right now, the reason that they almost lost it is because they couldn't pay for the house. Qua said that they had to worry about where their kids were going to sleep, which means they weren't in a stable position at one point, because they risked their children losing their house because they wanted to spend all this money other places. You say money's the byproduct. No, you need the money to do that. Hence why you thought your children were going to lose their house, because you didn't have the money to pay for the house, because you wasted it away.
Qua literally stated in another podcast that they need to pay their $200,000 in debt by turning in the Audi R8. I know I say this a lot, but it's a great point and it correlates with this. But when returning it, Karen didn't want to return it. So she stomped her feet and got another car instead of paying off their debts. And they talked about like, oh, we'll just invest the rest of the money. They needed to pay off their debts, but they didn't want to tell people that they were in debt. They just said, oh, we're going to invest it into things. So they were beating around the bush, like the thing about being greedy. You know what I mean?
Until they
and
couldn't
then
anymore.
A couple months later, they buy a boat. So all the money that they got from the Audi R8 went to that other car and the boat. So they didn't spend their money wisely or try to fix debt or anything. They literally risked all stability for their children. And Qua was worried later on about not being able to have a house for his kids. But it was his fault, and they kept doing this.
And their first goal is stability for the children. No,
Yeah.
your first goal was getting that materialistic shit.
Your first goal is materialism, and that's just what it comes down to.
Stay-at-home mom doing that, or you're a mom with a part-time job who has a nanny, or your mom with a full-time job who has a nanny or in daycare. You're taking care of your kids in the way that you want to take care of your kids, in the way that's right for you and your family. Just because we're YouTubers, we get a lot of like parenting advice from expert parents.
I love how Karen throws shade at people who are like expert parents or whatever, trying to give her like parenting advice. They'll go online and ask for advice from people.
Yeah, they do. They do
all the time. They do it all the time. But I guess when it's like unsolicited, then it's a problem.
Even before we were on YouTube, I'd get parenting advice from
My mom.
Parents, they raised you. They're going to give you parenting advice. It's not that big of a deal. Karen just doesn't like Qua's mom.
That sucks on him. Like, everyone gets it. Everyone gets parenting advice because every parent, I don't know what the fuck is going on with parents, man. But, like, just take care of your own damn kids.
You must have been salty about something.
Yes, she probably got a comment that she didn't like. She's
Just bringing
like,
up randomly.
yeah.
It's like with the December miscarriage video where she complains about the haters.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it was so unnecessary.
So
and
they
out of
always got to
place.
bring up the haters.
Always got to bring it up, man, because she's so fucking pressed all
They
the time.
both are.
Moving back to what I was saying, okay? If people are saying that we are materialistic, maybe this will set them straight.
There's nothing he can say that can set us straight about
Nope.
him not being materialistic, because they are the most materialistic on
Yep.
this platform. 100%. They are on par with the Ace family.
We don't work towards having more money. We work towards a goal.
How did you get that goal, Qua? Because all of your goals were based around money and
Yeah, but
apparently stability.
Don't forget, they couldn't even afford the house, so
Yeah, you
they
couldn't-
didn't have money to
Yeah,
buy the
you-
house.
yeah,
They had to have
exactly.
somebody else help them with it.
Somebody co-signed and you use their credit in order to get the house because you
Mhm.
guys had dog shit credit.
Mhm.
But the only way to attain any of your goals is through money. So you do have to think, how am I going to get this? Because good feelings or whatever you're going to go on about doesn't buy things.
No.
I want to buy a lake house, right? This lake house is $2 million. And in my mind, I'm not saying, how do I make $2 million? If I thought like that, I will probably most likely never ever make $2 million.
Guarantee you
Makes
that's
no
exactly
sense.
how we thought, because they were making $2,000 a day vlogging. So they're like, oh, we need a daily vlog now. And they did it for 3 years straight because it made them a lot of money. So when he talks about, oh, I didn't think about the money, guys, because money is the only way to buy this house. I'm not going to worry about $2 million. I'm going to make 2 million people happy, which
And
makes no
this
sense.
is why he had no money to buy the house and
Yeah,
why
exactly.
they almost lost their
Yeah.
home.
How can I help 2 million people in a way to monetize it at the same time?
So you were thinking about money. You said you want to help people,
Oh, I
but
forgot about that.
monetize it? Well, monetizing means money. And by the way, how are you helping anybody? You guys don't give a damn about your community. You guys
No.
scam your community
Yep.
out of money. You made them crowdfund a giveaway that you guys profited from. You don't help anyone but yourselves.
Mhm.
And then when you do, it's always a sponsorship. Like when you give away a nursery or something, that's because another company gave it to you. You didn't do it out of
Yeah.
kindness of your heart. You were paid to do it.
Mhm.
You were paid money to do it,
And
to
again,
give it away.
he says, how do I help 2 million people and then get paid for it? So in the end,
Yeah.
what do you get, dude?
Yeah, exactly.
You're getting the money.
You didn't just want to help
My
people,
God, you really think your community is just dumb?
right? No, they
They
really,
really
do.
do.
They think
Because
low
they
of their
and
community.
they if they fall for that, they are.
Yeah.
Because like seriously, you guys can't figure it out for yourselves. That's just the dumbest mentality. This is why he couldn't even. Oh, they almost lost that house
Mhm.
because he has this stupid mentality.
They could have lost that house if it wasn't for Richard. He could have took it away from them.
He could have
Apparently,
pulled it out
by
from
the
them.
lawsuit, by the complaint, he could have took it away from them like that,
Mhm.
but didn't. So now that says a lot more about him than it does about KK. You know what I mean?
So every goal I ever have is, how do I help this many people do that? Or how do I do this? And then the money comes as a byproduct. You never want to make money your main goal.
I agree.
You just come off as greedy. You come off as like just materialistic, like
Yeah,
everyone says, you know?
You need to like open up a dictionary or
It
something.
literally
where-
says it
Go
in
Google.
the name.
It's material possessions. So when you were younger and you were jealous over what your friends were having over you, were you thinking of like, well, how can I help this person in order to get this?
No, he was stealing.
No, instead of thinking about how you can help people in order to get the things that you were jealous over, you decided to take from people who had those things. You broke into cars, you stole people's money, you stole people's navigation systems, you stole iPods, and then you gave them out
Yeah.
around school to be cool, and you tried to sell stuff and this and that, and then you got caught. You even stole a cop's gun and laptop.
Yep.
You stole things because you did not have them yourself. You didn't think, how can I help people? You think, how can I people over, and you still have that mentality.
And he still does.
That's when he wanted this lake house for $2 million. He didn't go, how can I help people? He said, how can I people over out of money? Because what did he do to help?
Faking miscarriages.
Right, exactly. That's one thing that helped pay the bills. Faking miscarriages, lying and deceiving. They think that their vlogs actually help people. Okay, sure. You can go, oh, it helps them get through their day, whatever. But we're talking about actual help. Like, what did they benefit from? Like, actual benefits. Did they get some money? No. Did you help promote their YouTubes? No. You guys ended up becoming more greedy than when we started this whole thing.
That reminds me of like when I first started YouTube. I didn't start it thinking I'm gonna make this much money on YouTube. I thought maybe I can help a few moms going through the same thing I'm going through.
She said she watched Brittany and Baby's video on making money on YouTube, and she's like, wow, you can make money on YouTube?
Yeah, I know. That was before she was a YouTuber. So she probably hopped in YouTube thinking that she can make money. She didn't have a definitive like flat rate of how much she can make, but she tried, and look what happened. This is where we go backtrack to like the first part where Karen said that she was trying to like relate to other mothers and help them. Karen didn't help anyone because she didn't relate to those same mothers. She said she was alone. Now with Jackson, sure, because she felt alone because Qual was working at the restaurant or whatever. So she felt alone. Okay, but that didn't last very long. Then Qual eventually was doing real estate and he was living at the house, and then they started vlogging together. Jackson was probably barely out of the womb before Qual quit the restaurant and started just vlogging with them and picking up daily
we should
vlogging.
look at that timeline to see how long it was.
Yeah, it wasn't long. It wasn't long.
Go back and look.
Your successful YouTube channel and your financial stability and everything was a byproduct to you wanting to document it and connect with other moms.
You didn't have a byproduct. You literally failed at everything and put yourself into financial debt and saved yourself with, I don't know, maybe some loans.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly what I'm talking about. I wasn't talking about no dang parenting advice. What the heck?
Yeah. I'm an expert fucking parent. My damn kids. And they love me. And they love you. And they love their life. And that's all that matters.
I mean, they really don't have a choice, do they?
Yeah. I wouldn't call you an expert.
Yeah. You're not
I don't doubt that they love their children.
Yeah. We don't doubt that you love your children.
But you've exploited your kids to get to where you are now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, of course, you're going to say you guys are happy. You know what's so funny is that they're saying that they're happy right now. And this is time, if you could backtrack to when Qual was saying that they were unhappy, this is the same year he became unhappy.
Yeah, it's around the time.
Yeah.
I think after their wedding is when
they were looking for the house at this point.
He talked about the $2 million house. They're talking about the lake house that they have right now. They said that they were looking at it for a while. They were looking at it before the privacy stuff. They were looking at it before then.
But anyways,
Karen's popping off.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, we need to cool it down. You need some water, honey?
Landon gets his bop every day.
She must have been reading the comments or something like that's before this.
Yeah. Bop was at the bottle.
I don't know.
But filled with filler, Ensure, or whatever the hell it's called.
I don't know.
On to the next subject. So we launched the first podcast, and major success in our eyes,
No, in everyone's eyes, it was a major success. Even though, look at it now.
Yeah.
Because they said the same thing and kind of like imply that with Kick-Ass. And look at Kick-Ass, and now look at BAYTS. It's nothing. It's done. I'm surprised this is even still up.
Yeah, the first episode was a success only because you surprised people with the podcast, and then people realized that it wasn't.
Also, it was in the time of your kind of like big boom. Like, yeah, you guys were still relevant.
Yeah, they were still in that time where they were growing significantly.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, you promoted it. Anything you promote will get instant success. It's eventually going to flop, though, because nobody outside of your community wants to buy your shit. Hence why all your shit's still stocked up at Goodwill.
So much good feedback. And this second podcast, to me, it feels like we're still kind of storytelling, kind of trying to get a feel for the podcast.
Yeah.
Eventually, we want the podcast to be revolved around like storytelling and the business side of YouTube.
Yep.
And,
the stuff no other YouTuber really voices.
Yeah. Now a lot of YouTubers talk about this shit.
A lot of YouTubers have like literally focused their channels around business.
Some people show, a lot of YouTubers actually show their monetization on YouTube and shit.
Maybe what she means is not a lot of vloggers talk about it, but that's because vloggers know nothing about business. Because they start businesses and then they flop.
These vloggers, especially family vloggers, want to keep how much money that they make off of their children.
Yeah. For the longest time, they kept it quiet on how much money they make on like vlogging way later on in the podcast after KKandbabyJ already flopped. They finally admit that they were making. They reluctantly said, but they finally admit that they were making $2,000 a day. But it took years for them to admit.
And most of them
years.
Still don't even mention how much money they make.
Exactly.
They don't talk about how much money they make in sponsorships.
Yeah.
But imagine what all of their sponsorships are. They have a bunch of bullshit sponsorships.
So eventually we want to connect with the audience, who we're so grateful for listening to our podcast, by the way.
Yeah,
we
thank you guys so much. And those of you who hit that support your creator button,
they don't care about the community.
Holy shit, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, what?
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are amazing.
And
you guys are...
They love it when you support them and give them like free money, but they won't ever actually give you a free anything.
Like I said, business side, we want it to be funny and fun.
Yeah.
Well,
arguing in every single podcast.
Literally like almost every single podcast they argue like 2 or 3 different times.
Yeah.
These podcasts are not enjoyable. Even their own community left bad reviews saying that they love them, but they just can't listen to this
They're
crap.
so poorly done.
Have you guys call in, have conversations, answer your questions.
That never happened, by the way.
I think we want to eventually tweet or maybe post an Instagram story saying, call this number.
Yeah. We're going to get like a Google number, something that you guys can call.
WhatsApp and stuff like that.
Maybe nobody called in. Maybe that's why.
They overestimate how successful they are going to be in things.
Like the reach.
Yes. Yeah. They overestimate it.
But that's because they don't put any work into it.
That's what I'm saying. They do this. They say a lot. They say that they're going to do a lot, and then they don't.
Well, I guarantee you that like the first episode of the podcast did great.
Yeah.
That's
no,
why
it
they're
did.
so
I think it
excited
ended
about
up on trending.
But then like the last few probably just started to dwindle because they would go 6 months without posting.
But there are people who think as long as they say it, they're successful. That means it's success.
Yeah, success. It's funny because there'll be like people are hating our success and they're just jealous, but then they'll also say that success is what you define. So, ass backwards.
I love the pictures that we took for the podcast.
I know, me too.
Have we talked about it yet?
The picture where they were hiding the Audi R8.
I know.
But for this, and then like in the first episode, they saying how they don't have to show everything. They don't owe anybody anything, and those are their own
Karen
personal
literally
goals.
said that they're going to save it for the podcast.
But in that,
they wanted to.
But Karen wanted to save the photo of the Audi R8, the material possession for the podcast.
She wanted to show it off for the podcast.
But in the first episode, she says that that's not what they wanted to do. But then they do it.
You know.
It doesn't make any sense. It's so cringy, man.
So damn booty out there. I stuck my booty out.
Daniel,
booty?
I saw it. Daniel was taking the photos of us, and he's like, I like the ones better where you're like interacting. And I was like, yeah, we're not models. He's like, yeah.
One where I'm like sticking my booty out.
Cause still about his booty. He won't shut up about his butt, bro. No.
I've been working out. My booty's looking good.
Thick. My butt needs some gains.
In her eyes, you can just eat carbs and you just
maybe if you worked out, then you would have gains on your booty.
Yeah, this is the time where she said she was working out intensely, and I say in quotes, intensely lifting heavy. Yeah, you would have a butt if you were, Karen.
I guess not.
Every girl wants butt workouts and ab workouts.
There's a lot of girls who have big booties naturally.
But let me tell you, that's not how it works. You can't spot correct things. You gotta work everything out.
Yes, you can. You can work out your bicep and get big biceps. That's how you work out. It's a thing. You can strengthen your core by doing core workouts. You can make your chest bigger by doing chest workouts. This is why your fitness brand failed, Karen, because you think that you cannot focus on one muscle and work it out and make it better. This is why your fitness brand flopped.
You should do everything, but
you should do everything. You
randomly do like
you should work out your whole body, not just your biceps.
Cheeks,
but
you have to work your thighs.
But if you want a bigger booty and that's what you want to focus on, then that's what you do. You're gonna get a bigger booty. It's just how it works. Cardio is a different story, but still.
Oh yeah.
So last time we recorded our podcast.
Well, I just got so frustrated with people talking shit to
Madison?
Yeah, Madison. I keep wanting
She's mad over comments.
reading Karen.
I think someone commented. I didn't listen to the whole thing.
Oh, we
it
were
wasn't that
very
good or something.
wishy-washy in the beginning. We were very back and forth. And
no, but I honestly think they did listen to the whole thing. If they didn't, then why would they see our post about the podcast, listen to it a little bit, and then go back to our social media to comment that?
They could have just watched your podcast, thought the episode was ass, and hey, valid. But they didn't like it, so they went to Instagram to, complain to you guys or whatever, to bash you, whatever they want to do.
Just started it and been like, oh,
they're like, I'm not listening to this. It's just like watching a movie and being like, oh, I'm 10 minutes in and it's boring. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
That's why they say like, get through the first episode. The Walking Dead starts out slow. The problem is though, is that your podcast never got good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
So, but even your own community complained that you guys were arguing and that your episodes were ass. So yes, people are going to listen. They're going to be like, this is mid. And then they're going to go to your Instagram and bitch.
Especially when you're saying the same shit on the podcast that you say on the vlog. It's boring.
Yep.
I think they were just being rude.
That's okay. That's them. They do they.
I know, but I'm just saying, I feel like the haters who are like, oh, find new people to look up to and stuff like that, probably listening to this podcast.
Oh, no.
I mean, I do agree. Find new people to look up to. Karen and Qua are not good people to look up to. They lie constantly. All their goals they said they want to achieve to show you guys to motivate were leased out or co-signed on someone else's credit. They didn't buy anything on their own.
They say this shit, but they do the same shit. They watch all these videos on them.
Yep.
Don't pretend that they don't.
I just don't understand how people have the time of day to, hate on what the heck.
I don't know. Maybe in the first episode, Karen said that she had the time of day to stalk people with her friend Taylor.
Yeah.
So
Multiple
maybe you
times.
should ask Karen how she has that much time in her day. Since she's so busy, how does she find time in her day to go and stalk people?
Contacting family members, employers. Yeah.
It's one thing to listen to a podcast, not enjoy it, not watch it again, or watch a YouTube video, enjoy it, or not enjoy it and not watch it again. But it's like, why do you keep coming back?
For money. I mean, we're on episode 2. I'm going to keep on going.
Product reviews.
This is product reviews. I am a product review channel. That's what I do, is product reviews.
What makes you come back? If you don't enjoy us, then...
Oh, and then some people were saying Karen's Audi is just like Karen's closet, and that we're saying Karen's Audi is super obsessed and stalkerish, and so is Karen's closet. Karen's closet, was asked for by all my subscribers.
Everyone.
They want to know where my clothes are from.
Yeah.
Karen's closet is providing a service.
Let's keep in mind that this service is not essential.
She has to look close enough to see what you're wearing to find the product.
Yeah.
So yes,
she's doing the same thing that Karen's Audi.
Shit. Just like Karen's Audi was looking at the keys on the wall. They were hanging right on the wall on the blog. You said she was a stalker, then Karen's closet is a stalker too.
Yep.
Neither one of them is stalkers in our eyes, but if in Karen and Qua's mentality, then they're both stalkers.
Karen's closet was up Karen's ass. Karen's Audi wasn't, but she's doing the same exact things that Karen's closet was doing. Looking at the vlogs, different frames. The difference is that Karen's closet did so much more work than Karen's Audi did. Karen's Audi talked about keys and was just trying to expose that Karen had an Audi.
Why is Karen so pressed about it too? It's just it's a dumb little Instagram. Why are you so pressed about it? It's about your car. Calm down. You care more about your car than your kids.
Right?
And I hope one day she can monetize her account.
I know.
He hopes one day that she'll get paid for it, but doesn't. By the way, she stopped doing it. It's almost a year ago when she stopped. She stopped last year in August. She had a lot of
followers at one point.
Yeah, and she said, I actually contacted her and I asked her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. I asked her why she stopped, and she said because basically that I think she just lost time because she was getting older, but she also said she lost interest, which means that this venture wasn't worth it, that this time she spent wasn't worth it.
Should have made it about a bunch of different vloggers. That would have been smart.
That would have been better. But the point is that she didn't get monetized. She didn't get paid for it. So what happens when she gets older and has to get a job? She has to get paid for it. Karen and Kwa can talk about, I hope this and that. They don't care about their community because they could have made sure that she got sponsorships or brand deals or this and that, but instead no, because she had 40-something thousand at one point. That's a decent amount. She could have got sponsorships through Karen and Kwa. Karen and Kwa do not want to provide that real service to their community because they actually do not want to see their community rise up because they always want to be the ones on top.
His first thought right now talking about it is money.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to somebody else. You think it's not money when it comes to himself. He wants her to monetize Karen's closet.
I thought money was great.
Yet you're okay. It's just funny.
I hope she can get brand deals.
Yeah,
She good through you, but you don't do it.
Needs to do something.
She is amazing. Her consistency in posts on Instagram is admirable.
And look where it got her. Nowhere.
She's just linking clothes. Calm
down.
I mean,
she's only linking clothes. Calm the hell down.
Karen's Audi is just creepy.
Karen's Audi is just hateful.
Literally.
Karen's Audi does the same thing that their entire community does. See, they'll bitch about Karen's Audi finding keys to Karen's old Audi R8, seeing the keys in the background, but won't complain about the weirdos who see an ovulation test on the counter. It's the same thing.
They laugh at that.
Yeah, they laugh at that. It's whatever. But they'll call Karen's Audi a stalker for the same exact thing that their community does to everything they do. Karen's pressed about somebody exposing her having a fast car, expensive car, but isn't worried about those fan pages who are collecting pictures of their young children. And then they complain about stalkers.
At first I thought maybe they'd take what we said and take that account now that I gave them a couple followers.
The people that she gave him were probably hating on her.
But no, she decided to keep on hating.
She just posted another post be a better parent or something. What the does that have to do with my ouchie?
Oh yeah, that's what you're
That's
right.
why.
Yeah, that's it. That's why she was talking about the parenting
You
stuff.
really
right.
are pressed, Karen.
Yeah, she's pressed. That's
if
why
you're
she.
a good parent, you shouldn't have to be pressed about what people are saying.
Dude,
about
that was in her mind this entire episode.
Yeah.
That was in her
Good
mind,
job,
bro.
Karen Zowdy. You're really getting to Karen.
Dude,
Good job.
they talk about how they don't care about the haters, but Karen Zowdy was featured in the first episode highly and in this one too.
Karen, the only people who are following them are the people who want to shit on you too.
Yeah.
Karen's closet has a goal. People want to know what I'm wearing, so she's giving it to them. People don't give a what hateful crap you say about me or about my parenting.
They do. There's a big ass community that does. It's called the anti-family vlog community, you know, and some are toxic, some aren't, but still, like, there's a big community that goes against you guys. Valid and invalid.
I always thought of it like this, like whenever we first started YouTube, just like if we're gonna get hate comments.
Okay, so already when they first started YouTube, they were already thinking about the haters. They're so pressed about what other people have to say about them. It's insane. They like let it bother them. They like let it control them. It's like, dude, I don't give a people think.
People who focus hating on us, it's good that they hate on us. It's better that they spend their time hating on us rather than other YouTubers who maybe will take it the wrong way.
Okay, so then don't bitch when I make videos on you.
Be like, oh, I don't want to do YouTube anymore because these people
Which it
hate
has
me.
happened to some people that I know.
Well, if they're exploiting their kids, good. Sayonara. See you later, I guess. Not.
Anyways, I feel like this is a good podcast. This is a good amount of podcasting.
Yeah.
Mid-podcast, mid-episode. In fact, all of them are that way, man. They got so lazy. They're like, last episode is about like an update of their life. It's not even what the podcast was even originally supposed to be about.
I don't know why, but like whenever we're podcasting, I kind of have no idea what I'm talking about. I honestly
That's just in general, not just podcasting.
don't even know if I'm making sense sometimes.
You are.
I
I
am.
forget what we said though, for sure.
Like, I don't even know what I just said,
when
like,
you
30
listen to
seconds
this
ago.
again. This is who we are. We're not like a crazy directors or.
You're not organized is what you're saying. Oh, and you say you're not directors or trying to imply that they're like producers or whatever the hell they're talking about. Yet we'll always talk about getting that right shot for the vlog.
We're just like you. You like honestly, you listening right now. You, right?
Hmm?
Yes, you. You
Right.
can literally go download Anchor.com. You can record yourself talking.
You can literally do it
Whatever
straight
you want
from
to
your
say,
phone.
and then upload it to Anchor.fm, and you can have your own podcast.
Are you going to promote that podcast though? Somebody from your community can start their podcast, but are you going to actually help them? You know, shouting them out and promoting them free would actually help them, but you guys don't do that. You just go, how can I help you guys? And then you don't actually do anything to help them. You just let them watch your videos and you make money off of it. That's their version of helping people.
Like, don't think just because we have an audience already and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like it's impossible to get here.
The reason why your podcast was successful at first was because of your audience.
You listening to this, if you have any dreams, aspirations, I know I sound like super motivational and cliche right now. Tweet at me. Tell me your dreams and aspirations. I will try and talk about them
What
on
is
the
up
next
with you and
podcast.
Twitter?
They talk about this like, just tweet at me. Nobody tweet at them because they probably know that they weren't going to do it. I remember back in 2020, Qual was like, guys, tell me how you're struggling during this pandemic, during these hard times. And then he's like, I can't help you, but you know, even though he could help, I mean, he was gloating that same year about all the stuff that they have. So
Let us know your dreams and aspirations because we want to help motivate you, and you guys are definitely helping motivate us.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they love all the positive engagement on their channel that made them $2,000 a day. That's what they're really appreciating, not the actual people though, because they're greedy little bastards.
And I just love how we can just be us on here. Like,
This is where she kind of said that she's not being real on her YouTube channel, which, you know, shocker.
But I like what Daniel said about the vlog.
so the vlogs feel like he's coming over and he's hanging out with us during the day. We're all hanging out with the kids. We might be grilling out. We're just having some nice, fun family, friends, vlogging time. Then what he feels like when he was listening to our podcast. Can you get off your phone, bruh?
Sorry.
Dude, Qua's such a piece of shit, man. Karen's literally going into this like whole deep thought, you know, for once. And then Qua's on his phone, not even paying attention. And they say Qua is a nice guy or a good husband. But look what he's doing.
I want it to feel like we're your friends and we're just sitting in your living room hanging out with you, or your car when you're driving,
You do that through what? Like when you guys argue?
You're on a run.
or
you
if
know?
you're on a run.
We're just in your headphones.
We'll give you a beat.
Who's gonna run to that shit? Anyways, all you jealous haters, that's about it. Well, that wraps up episode 2, guys, and part 2 of this episode. Paige isn't here to say goodbye, but let us know your thoughts down below. Like the video if you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye, losers.